Episode 1, The Rabbit That Refused to Stay Down, Kolkata. February 2026. The winter sun was already weak by 3:40 p.m., and the narrow lane behind the college canteen smelled of stale samosa oil, wet concrete, and the faint metallic tang that always seemed to linger after a beating. Arjun was on his knees, his school backpack, still carrying the cheap blue and white college logo, was lying 5 meters away, like discarded garbage. One strap had torn. 2 100-rupee notes and a crumpled 50 were being slowly fanned out between Rohan's thick fingers, like playing cards. "You said Friday," Rohan said, voice flat. "Today is Friday." Arjun's lower lip trembled. I told my ma I needed it for books. She gave me only 300. "I swear, Rohanda, next week." "Next week?" Rohan laughed once, short and ugly. The 2 boys flanking him, Surav and Mintu, snorted in perfect sync. "You think we run an EMI scheme?" Shashank Roy had been standing at the edge of the lane for the last 90 seconds. He had come out of the canteen with one small paper cup of tea, 8 rupees, his last for the day, and seen the scene unfold. He could have turned left toward the main gate. He could have kept walking. Most days he did. But Arjun had looked up, just once, and their eyes had met. Arjun wasn't crying yet. Not quite. But the skin under his left eye was already swelling purple, and there was a thin line of blood at the corner of his mouth, where Mintu's class ring had split the skin. Shash felt something hot and tight coil behind his sternum. He stepped forward. "Rohan," he said. His voice came out quieter than he wanted. "Let him go. He'll bring it on Monday." 3 heads turned. Rohan's smile was slow, almost delighted. "Ari, look who grew balls today." He tilted his head toward Shash. "The ghost speaks." Saurav cracked his knuckles. Mintu giggled, high and nervous. Shash swallowed. His palms were already damp. The teacup in his right hand was trembling so badly that hot liquid sloshed over his fingers. "I'm not asking for me," he said. "Just let him keep the money. He really doesn't have more." Rohan took 1 step closer. He was taller by almost half a foot and broader across the shoulders. The smell of expensive deodorant and cheap cigarette smoke rolled off him. "You want to pay for him, Shashank?" Shash shook his head. "No. Then shut up." Rohan's open palm cracked across Shash's cheek, so fast and so hard that the teacup flew out of his hand and burst against the wall. Hot liquid sprayed Shash's neck and collarbone. The sting came half a second later, bright and ringing. Shash staggered, but didn't fall. Rohan looked mildly surprised. "Still standing?" he said. "Okay, let's fix that." The first real punch came to Shash's stomach. Air exploded out of him in a choked wheeze. He doubled over, arms instinctively wrapping around his middle. Surav grabbed him by the hair from behind and yanked his head back. Mintu kicked him once, hard, in the side of the ribs. Something crunched. Shash tasted copper. They didn't stop. Punch, kick, open-handed slap, another punch to the kidney. Shash tried to curl tighter, tried to protect his head. He heard Arjun shouting something. "Stop, please, I'll get the money." But the words sounded far away, muffled by the roaring in his ears. At some point, he hit the ground. Gravel bit into his palms and cheek. Someone stepped on his fingers. He heard the small bones grind. And then, silence. Not complete silence, just a sudden absence of new blows. Shash's left eye was swelling shut. Blood ran from his nose in a slow, warm stream, pooling in the dip above his upper lip. His breathing sounded wet and broken. He heard Rohan's voice, suddenly uncertain. What the fuck? Shash forced his good eye open. Arjun was still on his knees, frozen. The money notes had fallen to the ground and were fluttering in the weak afternoon breeze. But Rohan, Surav, and Mintu had all taken one step back. They were staring at Shash. Shash didn't understand why. He hurt everywhere. His ribs screamed every time he breathed. His left hand wouldn't close properly. Yet somehow, he was pushing himself up, one palm flat on the gravel, then the other. Knees. Slowly, trembling, he rose to all fours. Then, impossibly, to his feet. Blood dripped from his chin in fat drops. A sudden rush of wings. Several pigeons and a pair of miners exploded out of the nearby gulmahar tree, shrieking as they climbed into the sky. The air felt colder, sharper. Shash lifted his head. His right eye, still mostly clear, was locked on Rohan. There was no fear in it, only something flat, something cold, something that had been waiting a very long time behind the quiet, bookish boy, who always looked at the floor. Rohan felt it first. A long, rolling shiver crawled up his spine. His mouth opened, then closed. The hand holding the money notes suddenly felt heavy. Surav whispered, "Rohan da." Mintu took another step back. His heel hit a broken brick, and he almost tripped. Shash didn't move. He just stood there, bleeding, bruised, swaying slightly, and stared. And in that moment, the lane felt 10 degrees colder. From the corner of the building, half hidden behind a stack of empty crates, Neha Patel watched. She had come out to smoke, something she did only when the day felt particularly suffocating. She hadn't intended to watch a beating, but now she couldn't look away. She remembered her mother's voice, low and serious, from 2 years ago, after a neighborhood stray dog had suddenly turned and chased off 3 older boys who were throwing stones at it. "There are times, Neha," her mother had said, "when even a rabbit becomes a lion. Not because it wants to, because it has no other choice left." Neha's cigarette had burned down to the filter without her noticing. She stepped out. "Enough." Her voice cracked across the lane like a whip. Rohan flinched. All 3 boys turned. Neha walked forward, not fast, not slow, just inevitable. She wore the college hoodie, sleeves rolled up, hair loose. Her eyes were calm and very hard. "Pick up your ego and leave," she said, "before I decide to record this and send it to the principal. Or worse, my mother." Mentioning her mother was enough. Mrs. Patel was a senior inspector in the state police. Everyone in the college knew. Rohan's jaw worked. He looked from Neha to Shash, still standing, still bleeding, still staring, and something in his face collapsed. He dropped the notes. They fluttered down beside Arjun. "Let's go," he muttered. Surav and Mintu didn't argue. They walked away quickly, shoulders hunched, not looking back. Silence returned. Neha exhaled through her nose. Then she looked at Shash. He was still standing, but now the killing intensity had leaked out of his eye. What remained was just exhaustion and pain. Arjun scrambled forward, grabbing Shash's arm. "Shash, you okay? Oh God, you're bleeding everywhere." Shash tried to smile. It came out crooked and bloody. "I'm fine." He wasn't. Neha stepped closer. She reached out, hesitated, then gently tilted his chin up to see the damage. "You idiot," she said softly. "Why did you do that?" Shash looked down. "He's my friend." Neha's expression flickered, something complicated passing behind her eyes. Then she let go. "Get him cleaned up," she told Arjun, "and don't let him do anything stupid again." She turned to walk away. Shash spoke before he could stop himself. "Neha, thank you." She paused, didn't turn around. Don't thank me, she said. I didn't do it for you. And then she was gone. Arjun helped Shash sit on an overturned crate. He was shaking. Shash, that look you gave them. I've never seen you like that. Shash wiped blood from his lip with the back of his hand. Didn't feel like me, he mumbled. A few minutes later, footsteps. Riya Sen appeared at the mouth of the lane. She was wearing her usual black track pants and white college t-shirt, hair tied in a high ponytail. Her gym bag was slung over one shoulder. She had clearly just come from the martial arts practice room. Her eyes widened when she saw Shash. Shashank. She dropped the bag and ran over. Arjun quickly stood up, looking guilty. He tried to help me and Riya knelt in front of Shash. Her fingers hovered over his face, not quite touching. Who? She asked, voice dangerously quiet. Shash shook his head. Doesn't matter. It matters to me. He looked up at her. Her eyes were fierce, worried, beautiful. And suddenly he felt very small again. I'm sorry, he whispered. I created trouble again. You always have to come save me. I'm sorry, Riya. Riya blinked. Then, very slowly, a faint, almost tender smile curved her lips. She leaned in, so close that only he could hear. Such a cute rabbit, she whispered. Shash froze. Riya stood up, brushed dirt off her knees, and offered him her hand. Come on. Let's get you home before your mother sees you like this and murders me for not protecting you better. Shash took her hand. As she pulled him up, he thought, she pities me. That's all it is. Pity. He didn't see the way her smile lingered a second longer than usual. He didn't see how her fingers squeezed his, just once, before letting go.